You know, in walleye fishing, a lot of times some of the best bites come because you find windows of opportunity. And right now we have two different windows. First of all, it's early April, so we found a window in the weather. Just absolutely beautiful day out, light winds. The other more important window, though, that we found is the window of when big walleyes come out of the Bay of Green Bay and come up into the tributaries. And it only is about a week or 10-day window when you can find these big females up here, and you can catch them doing one of the funnest techniques there is, and that is vertical jigging. So I'll be doing some catch and release fishing today with my good friend Dale Stroschein and actually my nephew Chase Parsons, and we're going to show you how to vertical jig up the next bite. Chase and Dale are going to be here pretty soon. I'm going to get out the secret weapon here. Maybe I'll let them even use it, but when I'm jig fishing on the river lately, one of the hottest baits going for me has been just fishing with artificial tails. Ones like this one here, a 3-inch black shad. Real natural looking color. Put it on the jig, you put on all the action, catches lots of fish. I got one.
I really don't care. I'll grab the net for you. You really don't care.
What are you talking about? This is a good one.
Well, you got me kind of curious. What's going on?
Here comes Chase. Get right up here, Chase. Ready?
Oh yeah, there he is.
Here, there he is. Oh,
There we go. Oh, good fish.
oh man, he wasn't going to
What
get
a
off
fish.
anything. Look at there. Good heading job, man. Man, he just hammered that. We got that no stretch line on though, and when you hammer them with that, they just don't get off.
Look at the belly.
Nice belly. Oh, look at here, he's got my gulp minnow. That's what we're catching them on. Suppose it looks just like a bait fish to him. That's great stuff. Well, we're gonna get him back in the water. Nice fish, huh? Oh, yeah. He fought good, but not so good that he's gonna swim away just fine. There he goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Work up, young man. Work up. Work up.
Fish.
One of the most important things about coming out and fishing a river situation like this is boat control. What you want to do with your boat control here is something we call vertical jigging. We want our lines going straight down to the bottom so we can really easily feel that bottom. More importantly, really easily feel the bites. So I'm actually following my line, trying to keep it nice and vertical. And what I mean by following my line is that I'm actually using my bow mount trolling motor pointing into the wind to compensate for that wind. The current is actually flowing out of the river, into the mouth here and out into the lake, so we've got current coming like this. Now if you watched this morning, we actually had a north wind and I was turned all the way around. My bow was pointed into the wind and we were vertical jigging. This afternoon, as the wind has switched all the way around to the south, I'm turned completely 180 degrees around, still got that bow mount into the wind, and that's what's keeping our lines nice and straight up and down and on these fish.
Oh, there he is, there he is.
Good one, Dale? How'd you feel?
Nice fish, Keith. This is a nice fish. Chase, get the net. Oh, get the net. No, we'll tangle with the net. This is the one we've been waiting. We need this one. This is a good fish. Oh, yeah.
Good fish.
Yeah.
Nice fish, Dale.
He's stuck on the seat. There you go. There he is. There he is. Got him all. Yeah.
Good fish, Dale. Good fish.
Nice.
I don't think we really got it tangled up in it anymore.
That had a rod, had a seat.
Getting that net there, young man? Oh, nice fish, Dale.
Good fish, Dale.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, got a little tangle on the tail there with the line.
Well, that's just one of them things, you know.
There we go.
All right.
There you go, Dale.
Yeah, thanks.
Good fish.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the time of
nice
the year.
fish.
This time of year, you get these big fish. And I'm telling you, that is what we're here for right here. Let this gal go, though. What a fight. Great fish. There she goes.
Well, let me show you something on the screen here. Let me stop this chart here and show you this. A lot of people when they're out fishing rivers, and especially early in the year like this, are looking for walleyes. That's a good thing. What you need to find those fish though is a good unit. I'm going to show you some on this unit that's going to help you pick out fish. Now I've got a nice color unit here. It's got some good vertical pixels on it to show you good resolution. But what that is going to show you is right here, if you look right there, that is a fish laying on the bottom. And the reason I know that's a fish is because the bottom is blue down here, got a nice blue line, but then above that blue line is a nice mark with yellow or orange in it. So on a color unit, that fish just jumps out at you. Again, a good unit is going to put you on fish quicker. It's also going to help you catch a lot more walleyes. There's one. That's nice. Look with that rod between your legs like that.
The first place I can think to put it. And it does feel a little bit better. Oh yeah, there he is.
There he is. Oh yeah, nice
Decent fish, yeah. Let's get him in here. Nice fish. Nice male. They are pretty, aren't they? Just let him go. There he goes. There's one. You got one, Dale? Got one.
You get all excited about that hook set, don't you?
I get that from ice fishing, you know. Always those big hook sets. Oh, get this one out of here and let her go. There we go. All right. All right, let this one go.
Yeah, I'll let that one go and let's circle back up around, guys. Lots of males hanging around there. I think with that pack building up, we'll just move to the outside of them a little. Maybe they, you know,
Push over, I think that's a good idea.
push that big fish out maybe a little bit.
Learned that many years ago.
Yeah, the big ones like the boats about as much as we do. Put the sneak on them with this Verado.
That's right. Never know we're coming.
There's one. There's one. Just gonna say, this is the spot they were in.
Decent fish.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good one?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, you might want to get the net, Dale. I saw it down there. I'm like, oh, it might be a little bit bigger than what I thought.
Oh yeah, nice. Really?
Ready, Dale?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Oh wow. Yeah.
There he is. There we go. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
It's a little female, huh?
Good fish.
I was just gonna say we are right close to where we caught those fish on the last pass.
And if you notice something, Keith, we're right on a transition of a mudline here.
This mudline is right here. Green, huh?
Yeah.
Green.
Green.
Good pliers, Dale?
Got it.
Got her. Good.
Nice. Nice.
Good
Is that a
fish.
tag in its back? It's a funny dorsal.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Right
Is
here.
that a tag?
No, it's just kind of a
Little
weird.
spike.
Yeah, weird. He's got a little protection. He's got extra armor. Okay, let it go.
Very nice.
Ready, Chase?
Yep.
Birdie.
The real deal. Straight talk to make you a better fisherman. Brought to you by Bass Pro Shops.
What we're using here today is a simple jig head, a Bass Pro XPS 3/8 ounce jig. With that size, it's allowing us to feel the bottom extremely well, which is very important when you're vertical jigging. For the presentation, however, we're actually using what we call a double tail setup. We're using Berkeley Gulp 3-inch minnows in the smelt color. Now what we do is we take the first minnow and actually just string it on the jig head, just like so. Push it all the way up to the top so it hangs straight. Now after you string the first minnow on, what you want to do with the second one is actually pinch about half of it off at a 45-degree angle. And simply string it on right through the end so it sits piggyback on top of that first one. Makes a larger presentation, and with this dingy water that we're fishing in, these big fish are able to see it a lot easier, and it's really working out today.
Now I got one, boys.
I'm not even asking if you need the net on that, Rod Ben.
Are you gonna net this one for me?
I'm coming.
He ain't close yet. Woohoo! Oh, is this a good fish? Look at the rod bend.
Coming in here, Keith. Chase, you gotta get that line.
Yeah, this line chase.
Line
Can you get
wrapped
that?
around
Okay.
Get out of there, get that out
Just
of
bite
there.
it off. Just bite it off.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm gonna just try and lift him up a little.
All right.
Oh, you don't want to lift up.
No, he doesn't.
He's staying straight down.
I thought, he's kind of giving up. I just get him in here.
I hope you got a good hook set on.
Oh yeah, I pounded him. He whacked it, and I just pounded him. Here he comes.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that fish, Keith.
Oh, yeah!
Look at here, I just switched to that red jig. I must have jigged it 10, 15 times, and it's just hammered.
Absolutely shaking.
Look at the gut on that stupid thing.
Oh, that's what it's all
Look at the
about.
bite here. That's what you call the next bite. He just gobbled that thing up. Way down in there. Isn't that something? What a fish, huh?
Man.
Well, I tell you what, when you come to a place like this, you can fish a long time, catch a lot of males and stuff, but you'll get waves of these females to come in, and it is just unbelievable. I mean, we both fished a lot of years, and we don't catch fish like that just anytime. It's the guts on them that's just... But we're going to unhook her here and get her back in the water.
Unbelievable.
Here we go.
All right.
I think she's about ready to go. Need a bite or two. Oh, that water's cold. Oh, yeah, she's ready.
Yeah.
That was nice.
When fishing big bodies of water like we are today, the Bay of Green Bay, what you're looking for in the spring, cold water conditions like this, and we're dealing with real cold water, 38, 36 degrees, ice has just gone out. The key element that you're looking for are tributaries that pour into the system. The moving water that's coming into the system is typically going to be warmer. This is going to attract bait fish, but more importantly, the walleyes have been running around all winter long carrying this spawn from last fall and are looking for destinations to come into. These are going to be key areas because we've got bait in here, we've got moving water, and these are going to be the spots that we're going to find big bay walleyes.
Look at this fish.
This is insane. Oh man, I'm telling you, this might be the one.
Oh, I'll
Chase,
get the net for you.
this is the one.
Let me get the net.
This is the one. This is the one.
How's it feel, Dad?
It's a good one. This is the one.
How good is
oh
it?
my
Get the net.
goodness! Look at the size of the
flash.
fish. Oh, whoa!
Coming up big.
Yeah, here he is.
Get him up a little higher.
Wait. He's going back down.
There he comes. There he comes. Get him up. Get him, Chase. Get him.
Oh my God! Keith, did you see this? This is the biggest fish I ever caught in my life! Oh my goodness!
Look at the gut on that thing.
Yes. Look at holy.
Oh, man.
Hold your Look at this. Look at how fat this is. Good fish. Oh my fish.
Dale.
Oh, Keith, I've never in my life seen anything like this. Good fish.
Hot Topics, brought to you by Johnsonville Brats. Leading edge techniques and tackle designed to put more fish in your boat.
You know, one of the hot topics that comes up on our website all the time is, do I got to spend $200, $250 to get a good walleye rigging or jigging rod? Well, we're going to go out to Gary, and he's going to talk about the attributes that make a good walleye rod, not just the price. You know, speaking of hot topics, I got some hungry people here. I better take care of these brats.
Wait a minute here before we put this back in the holster. Let's talk a little bit about jigging rods. Jigging rods and rigging rods are always where you're going to spend the most amount of money on your rod systems. Okay, usually they're very, very feel and technique sensitive. This is a great rod as an example. It's a jigging rod that Keith and I designed for Bass Pro Shops. Has all the key characteristics to make it a world-class stick. You've got very, very stiff backbone, very flexible tip section. You have high modulus graphite rod, and then we have this twist-off butt section with a weighting system inside of it that actually compensates for the weight of the reel so that you have the very best in balance. This rod here actually retails for about 100 bucks. Unlike some rods that are going to retail upwards of $300, they're very expensive. It's not necessary to spend that kind of money on a good quality rod. We both qualified in the top 10 in the PWT Championship using these exact rods, the rods you can buy off the store shelf. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have 3 of these that do the same thing as one $300 rod.
Don't make that noise in my ear.
It's just like, whoa, the rod tip. Ears are sweating.
Your ears are sweating.
You drink this thing and your face will be throbbing.
You know, this fishing's a whole different type of adrenaline. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like sitting in your deer stand knowing that there's a 10 or 12 point buck, and it's just a matter of time before he walks into the stand. I mean, that's exactly what it is. And so the whole time,
So you got the safety off the whole time, huh?
the whole time you're just on edge, you know?
The Next Bite would like to thank Dale Stroschein and Sandbay Beach Resort for a great place to stay with incredible walleye and smallmouth fishing. Give them a call or visit on the web.